the people that create and build scary farms. There's cards there still. All right, so welcome everybody. We're going to bring everybody out. They're going to seat themselves. We'll have questions. It'll be fun. It'll be exciting. You'll learn so many new things. Please welcome the people who are the forces behind Knott Scary Farm. Come on out, everybody. We'll just go down the line here, starting with Paul right here. If you want to introduce yourself, tell what you do, how amazing you are.
My name is Paul Marshman, and I am the Technical Director of Scenic Production.
I'm Ken Parks. I'm the VP of Entertainment here at Knott.
My name is Daniel Miller. I am a creative designer.
Hi, I'm Costa Ragu. I am Monster Manager and Lead Scenic Artist here.
Hi, I'm Tim Byer. I'm the Costume Designer.
My name is Wes Nampus. I'm the Senior Technical Director.
Hi, I'm Sam Brezerich. I'm the Director of Production.
I'm Eric Nix, producer here at Knott's Berry Farm.
Gus Kruger, Creative Designer at Knott's Berry Farm and Knott's Scary Farm.
All right, so we have marketing folks down here, right? You can handle the questions. If you have a question, come on up. These are the people who have all the answers.
Hey, so last year, two of our favorites were Dark Ride and Pumpkin Eater, really immersive mazes, very highly themed. And it seemed like there was more of a move to repeat haunt visitors. A lot of the mazes you bore up the more times you went through them. Is that a conscious choice you've been making lately for the pass holders that are coming back more and more repeatedly and going through the mazes?
It is. We're looking at, we're now leaning into having quite a bit of a season pass holder base, and so we want to make that pass valuable and rewarding. And so one of the ways to do that is each year, even if the attraction was new last year and it comes back, that there's some way to always plus it up so there's something new and exciting to come back to Knott's for.
Thank you.
So for the depths, are you integrating any water features with the maze?
Well, I imagine after getting to Splash, if you guys were in the Splash Zone there, yeah, we're going to be definitely implementing some water features. It's one of the elements that we're going to be including to kind of breathe a new life into the venue, and then it all culminates into one of the largest and most spectacular finale scenes we've ever created.
I'm a little short. Hi, I'm Chloe Noel, and I was wondering, how do you train over 1,000 monsters? Because that is a big number, and how are you able to do it?
Well, training and managing 1,000 talent definitely is no easy feat. After everyone is auditioned and hired, they go through a scare school process, which is a night where we bring all the talent in, which will help them and teach them a safe way to create an immersive environment and scare. We want to make sure our talent is giving the best performance possible. So it's really important that we have our scare school nights and we also have our dress rehearsal nights. So our dress rehearsal is usually the week before Scary Farm opens. So if there's any weird tweaks, we can do it then.
Also, shop colors.
Thank you.
Hi guys, I have another question about the depths because it looks really awesome. I feel like I see a little bit of maybe H.P. Lovecraft influence on there, but I was just really curious about what the origins of that idea for the depths were.
You should take this one.
Originally, it's a John Cook maze, and he really actually did approach it with H.P. Lovecraft in mind. From the initial concept, he really wanted to bring in the Kraken, which was one of my favorite horror, and he's really a big fan of it. So that's heavily featured in this maze.
Awesome, thank you.
Hi, speaking of plus-ups, are there any plus-ups in any of the returning mazes this year?
Most definitely. Pumpkin Eater has 2 new animatronics that we're adding through it. Red Barn has a whole new beginning that we redesigned, and we're putting a show element outside to entertain the queue. In fact, it has a whole new animatronic at the very end that's sort of like a boss fight, just a large creature that you get to fire upon. So every year we approach the old mazes like they're new. So we really wanted to make everything more interesting for the returning visitor. So please come through and see what we've had set this year.
Yeah, and Paranormal also has a brand new ending to it that is pretty spectacular. Yeah.
Thank you.
I've been coming to these for several years now, and one of the first things that I learned was that some large percentage of the monsters come back every year, right? And I know that there are guests who come back every year. Have you noticed whether monsters and guests bond?
Sometimes the guests become the monsters, which is interesting, right? I mean, that's really, it's sort of how everybody on this panel started as a fan of Scary Farm. And so, although I was kind of being a little facetious, really the truth is there's such a connection for what this event is that I think everybody here, and we know that most of our monsters started as fans that made their way. So we're still hiring, and if you have any interest, we would love to have you.
Thank you.
Hi. Do you have any cool technology for dark entities?
Well, as a matter of fact, yes we do. I think the key is with any of the new mazes that we're trying to always transport people to amazing, fantastic new places and experience scares in new ways. So with dark entities, we're able to go to space in a way that we haven't done in a while. There's been so much over the last several years, there's been an exponential growth in what our scenic teams have been able to do and the quality of the mazes. So it really felt like this was a time where space was a very viable option to do in a really scary way. And to get back to the question, is there cool new technology? Yeah, we're incorporating a lot of interesting video tricks into dark entities just because you want to feel like you are on a ship. You want to feel like you're in space. So yes, we are incorporating a lot of cool technologies to make it feel like you're there in space. And there's also a couple opportunities to do things, a couple interactive elements that we will be working into the maze where guests may just have a little bit of control over their own fates, but people will have to just come back and see what that is.
Also, shock collars.
Thank you.
Hello. For Forsaken Lake, I wanted to know what you guys had in store with regards to the makeup. I'm just a little curious about what you guys have going for that.
So with the makeup there, we're doing a theme based on a dried up lake. So if you've ever seen mud puddles that dry up and how that cracks up and crackles, that is exactly where we're going with it. A lot of broken, dry, cracked lake beds.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Water is new this year with the depths. I haven't ever been splashed at one of these before.
You're welcome.
What challenges did you face in controlling the water? Because if you ask my husband, he'll tell you that indoor plumbing is evil.
Well, I think we're going to be, we're still learning that ourselves, so we're going to find out as we go, I think, on this one. But we've had good luck with water in the past, and we've had some incidents where we've had a mess, but I'm optimistic about it.
And to tag into what Paul was saying, it's the largest finale scene that we've ever done here at Knott Scary Farm, and it actually has a working waterfall inside the caverns.
Without revealing too much, will there be Sad-Eye Joe working throughout the farm, or?
Mad Eye Joe.
Mad Eye Joe
will be back. And Mad Eye is one of those things. You got what the lineup was tonight, but there's a whole bunch of stuff that we just never tell you about. We want you to discover those things. So there are all of these new pieces that are coming this year. If you liked Mad Eye Joe, there are new pieces that are coming throughout Scary Farm this year, like Mad Eye, to discover. Yeah.
So on Dark Entities, what kind of like audio atmosphere is there going to be? Is it?
Well, generally, in my mazes in the past, I really like to punch people in the head with sound. As you can tell, from Red Barn and Gunslingers, there were certain restraints in there. But with Dark Entities, I really want you to feel the cold, unpleasant atmosphere of space. So with the soundtrack for that, when you're on the ship, it's more atmospheric, so that when that monster is coming at you, you can really hear that, and I just want to hear people scream. It's fair. Yeah.
It was really nice for everybody to introduce your team, so that was really great. I think the team really appreciated it. The audience liked to see everybody that was behind the scenes. My question is for costuming. There's a lot of great costumes in the mazes and all the various scare zones. I'd like to find out what's the most unique thing that you actually made a costume out of so that it survives day after day, year after year. What are the most unique materials that you use?
The big question is how to make a costume survive, not Scary Farm. There is a lot of hard work that goes into the monsters and what they do in there and in the zones. They work their tails off out there making you guys scared. So some of the techniques that we use is we use a lot of cottons and polyester. I mean, one of our favorite fabrics is poplin polyester because it's durable, it's gonna last, it takes paint, it's amazing. My other thing is I use a lot of couch fabric. I know, right? Because it's durable. It's already built in to take some abuse. It's meant for wear and tear. So I stick that on a lot of our streets. All of the Forsaken Lake is couch fabric.
Wow. Don't tell Mike, right?
Who would have known? But it was literally one of those things where a vendor came in, and he's like, I don't think this is anything you're gonna need. And I was like, let me touch that. And then we started putting it on sandpaper, and we started playing with it. We're like, I'll take that whole book, do you have it in blue? And he's like, why, yes I do. And I was so happy because I was like, there's my color palette. So we're also always looking for different things, but yeah, couch fabrics is one of my favorite.
The original title was Sofas of the Dead.
Nice suit. Who shot the sofa? Is that it?
No, I'm ready.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're vaping, sir. I can't see you. Go ahead.
Kristen Black, I'm hiding. You guys did a fantastic job with the hollows this last season, and the whole area, the atmosphere, and the little mini vignettes and stuff. Are we getting any vignettes in any of the other areas this year?
You are. You'll be seeing in Forsaken Lake opportunity moments that will sort of organically spring up. You'll also have in Carnival. There's a lighting moment that happens with hang time that will happen this year, and then there are a couple that we're not announcing because we want you to discover. But Ghost Town will get something that's pretty interesting this year too.
Cool. And thanks for bringing back shows. There's as you were saying about people coming back with the season passes. The shows are a nice thing to have to do other than just the mazes and around the park and stuff, so appreciate that.
We love it too, and being in entertainment, we want more, and we'll keep adding more as we continue on with the event over the years.
So we're narrowing down between mazes and scare zones. Is there a tipping point where Forsaken Lake could have become a maze, or if a maze could have become a scare zone? Is there a deciding factor in that?
Well, the thing that we're really experimenting with is, as began last year, was the idea: could you create a scare zone that also ties to a maze in the same area, and could you tell this a similar two different stories, but that are connected stories in the same area? So we did that with the Hollow. We did it with Dark Ride last year in Carnival, and there's a very good chance that Forsaken Lake could eventually become the same type of thing, a maze and a scare zone. Not this year, but yeah.
It seemed like last year and now again this year, Not Scary Farm was more focused. Before you might have done a dozen mazes, half a dozen skeleton key rooms. It seems like now you're looking at, well, let's do 9 mazes, 4 scare zones, and do them really great. So I'm assuming that was like a conscious decision of like, let's focus up and do stuff that's great instead of we'll do 12 and hope that, 3/4 of them are really good.
I think our producer could tell you about it.
Yeah. So really, when we look at that, what happens is, we look at that lineup and we want to make sure that we're able to focus on what we're able to do and what we're able to accomplish. And if we spread ourselves too thin, especially with all the detail that we've been pouring in with our designers, with Gus and Daniel and John as well, the detail has become so prominent in these mazes that we want to make sure that we're not spreading our wonderful production teams too thin. So we've kind of scaled back as far as quantity is concerned, but quality is over the top, and we're always going to go there and push those boundaries and make sure that every maze that we build, new or returning, always meets that quality. So yeah,
absolutely too. One thing just to compound that, if we were doing more, a dozen, 13 mazes, we would not be able to do things the level of paranormal, the level of dark ride, the level of dark entities in the depths this year. So when you visit Scary Farm this year, you're really going to see 2 incredible new venues that we were able to focus on, and our crews are just doing an amazing job to make these really, really feel real and special. So that's the trade-off. It's just world-class, high-caliber venues that we are able to offer, and we do that by focusing.
What makes it extra unique this year is both of those mazes that we're offering are new ones. The Depths and Dark Entities are both backstage mazes, which means that we're able to build them in a different way that really makes them a little more permanent, so they don't have to be constructed in a way that they have to be torn down every year and reinstalled. So we build them to last, and I think the detail in the Dark Entities and the Depths is going to blow everyone away.
Year after year, it seems that Not Scary Farm continues to be innovative in terms of having Scary Farm attendees be more immersed in their experiences throughout the night versus just being scared by things that pop out or going through replicas of high-priced intellectual property mazes based on films or movies. But my question for you is...
We have no idea what you're talking about.
From things like that were innovative before escape rooms existed all over the country, like traps, to skeleton room keys to give small, intimate experiences, to even now still special ops. Is there a conscious effort to have guests like really be completely immersed versus just going through a maze or a haunted house?
It's in our DNA. We were the first, and so we really do take that heritage seriously, of that we constantly need to be finding ways that we can innovate. And so I think as we look at what's happening in the world of themed entertainment, that there is a great push to immerse and to have the guest be the star, or the guest be a character in this story, and that they feel that they are surrounded 360 in that world. And so that's definitely where we're leaning toward, and where we'll continue to go, not just in the mazes, but also in the park as well. Last year the decor came back in a big way in our park, and that you'll see more of that again this year too. So.
Really, what you just said, at the beginning of tonight's announcement, Jeff Tucker mentioned that Scary Farm this year, slightly differently, will be the entire park will be part of the Scary Farm experience. I was wondering, could each person on the panel talk about how you or your department is involved with making the entire park part of the Scary Farm experience?
Sure.
Well, I think the entertainment team as a whole on this panel is, every one of us is involved in making the entire park the scare zone and an immersive experience with all the 9 mazes. It's not 14, right? It's 9 mazes. There's the 9 mazes. This is my first Scary Farm, so I'm learning this as I go. And the one thing that I'm amazed at is the dedication to the team and the level of commitment to immersing the entire park into Not Scary Farm. So What was the question?
Well, I think we really want to, we really want to set ourselves apart. You know, we have all of this interesting geography and all of these interesting facilities that are here. I mean, Ghost Town is an amazing place for a scare zone. And so we have all of these unique settings, and so we just want to take advantage of all of that. Last year we had Engine 41, which we had never put out into the park, with this gigantic piece of machinery that made this wonderful photo opportunity set piece. We added an interesting atmosphere character in front of it that just helped with the placemaking. And so we're really striving to do that as you walk in the gate, there really is no place that you can turn that you don't find something that's connected to Halloween.
All design starts with word, it starts with story. So it's all about telling stories. It's all about making you frightened, making you think you're frightened. And this is where immersion starts. So I think that when guests come, they want to be told a story. And that's where our jobs start and finish. So.
If you walk around the park, there is a color theory throughout the entire park. Every zone has a slightly different feel to it. Nothing is the same, everything is unique to that area. So throughout the entire park, whether it's a maze or a scare zone, you'll find those unique traits that are special to their own thing. And there are people, Tim, myself, the designers, we create those color palettes to map out the entire park.
I work a lot with Pasta. She does a lot of paint. She won't say it quite out loud. She gets nervous up here. But she and I work a lot together because the costume and the paint and the environment have to go together. If she's in an orange and I'm over there in a pink, it's going to be a horrible experience unless that's what we're trying for. So if you go through the park, there's an amazing color palette. We always talk about eating with our eyes. Well, you're eating up this event with your eyes, and we want to make sure that you're not just getting one flavor, that you're getting an entire spectrum of flavors.
It's fully cohesive and it's all thought out. If you look at the Hollows versus Ghost Town, yeah, you may think they're the same, but you never realize that the scarecrows are based off the corn stalks and the shadows that they're casted. Or if you look at the colors in Forsaken Lake, there's the teals and the silver because it's moonlight on water. There's so many different, unique, individual things for each zone.
I think as you go around the park, you're going to see a lot more expansion of the lighting around the park. That's going to be one of the biggest changes, specifically in the Forsaken Lake area, but in all the areas, we're going to continue to expand that out. The hang time opportunity you're going to see there will be fantastic to see, and some other things that we want you to discover as you go around.
You know, and talking about how we immerse our guests, part of my role here at the park is really working with all the other divisions, not just in entertainment, but working with merchandise and food, and security, attractions, operations. And one of my pet projects, actually from Boysenberry Festival and then carried on to Haunt this year, is the art show. So I have a special place in my heart. I'm a graphic designer by trade, and so I've made a lot of contacts, and I've got a lot of friends that are artists. And so putting together Into the Fog for Haunt this year was one of those unique opportunities to try and expand our reach a little bit of outreach to the community, to different artists, local and abroad, and say, hey, you love Scary Farm, I love Scary Farm, why don't you make a piece of art for us? And we'd be happy to display it. And it was a great partnership with merchandise this year to make that happen. So I hope everyone gets a chance to go see the gallery after this.
Everybody's looking at me now. For me, it's a lot of, as Daniel said, with us, we're trying to tell the story of what is going on in this park. So a lot of it is just what do I do to help make this park a whole park experience? It's just walk around, enjoy the park, come up with a bunch of wacky ideas and put them on paper, and then watch all these wonderful people make it reality.
We don't, when you come to Knott Scary Farm, we don't want you to get a break. From the moment you come in, every zone you go through, every maze you go through has to be terrifying. Our reputation is on the line. As the guy who holds the radio, the very important radio during nights, I sometimes get calls to go up front because somebody wants a refund. And when I go talk to them, they're crying. Why do you want a refund? It's too scary. And secretly I'm like, yeah, we've done it, right? That's what we're here for. So we want you to have a good time. We also want it to be scary. And these folks make sure that it's every single part of the park. It's not like you sit somewhere and go, well, we'll take a break here, and then we'll go on that attraction and that. No. Getting from here to there is going to be terrifying, just as terrifying as going in the maze. So it's a team effort with everybody here and the monsters and everybody involved in Scary Farm.
Yeah, it's about scares. It's also a celebration of Halloween. So I think, bringing back the shows in the birdcage and things that kind of help create a bit of placemaking and help tell that story about this magical kind of Halloween theme park that we've all dreamed of when we were kids.
Absolutely. Is that anybody else? I think that's it. Well, thank you all for coming out. Thank everybody on the panel. We're so excited. We'll see you opening night, September 20th at Knott Scary Farm, where nightmares never end.